So for the past few weeks in the UK, we've been under lockdown. My church has been closed. I'm not even allowed in it to pray. I'm a vicar under lockdown, and I'm going to show you what my life's been like. Hi, my name is Dan Beasley, and this channel is all about inspiring intentional discipleship, helping you go deeper in your faith and living it out in the world today. And this segment of a vicar's life follows me around as I live my life out, my faith out, being a vicar in the Church of England. But it's been very strange for the past few weeks. I have been locked down, my church just out there, as I'm not allowed to go in it to pray. No one's allowed in it. The doors are locked. And we've been told to stay at home. My life has been very different, a lot more online stuff, but it's been really different. Today I'm going to show you speak about some of the stuff, show you some of the stuff around what I've been doing. It's been a very different life, kind of in a way a very confusing life as well. If you follow me and know me over the past few weeks, the reason why I'm here now is because the camera that I use it broke, and I can only use it connected to my computer. So we're going to go old school. This is what I used to use. So I'm going to press record now, and I'm going to go on to this camera and start speaking into this camera. I must remember to look into the camera. So here I am in my office where a lot has been happening over the past few weeks. This is my main area. It is what it is. It's a bit messy at the moment. So here I do now, because of the limitation of the camera, and I can show you here now. Here's the wire that is now connected to my computer over here. That means I can still record, thank God, but I have to do it in my office. So I'm recording all my services in my office. There's the table that I use, got the candle over there. So on my traditional services, I am having the camera down there. It's not the biggest office in the world. Try to use a lot of space, a bit echoey as well. To get this, keep this church still moving and looking at me instead of the camera. It's strange now going from this camera where you look straight down the lens to here. The problem with when you use a phone is like you've got a big screen with you on, and you tend to look at you, which is a bit annoying. So so traditional service I do there, and the contemporary service I do over here with the camera as I just was. And I even had to help me out as things have evolved as well. I've been painted. This is my blackboard now, which I'm putting stuff up so I can remember stuff as I'm going along in my service. So in here doing a lot of work, a lot of editing, emails, dealing with things because the church still have to move on. I have a weekly conversation with one of my church wardens about things, and also about the future. So not just about stuff that's happened now, but stuff that is going on and how we're planning the future. But it's amazing what you do during lockdown. So there's a lot I haven't done, and there's a lot I have. So I finally got around to sorting my books out, and I even categorized them, and things that you do and then get messy. There's my table, which I tied up. It's got equipment on. Here's the thing. I met a couple of parishioners in the graveyard yesterday as I was going for my walk. This is my teleprompt. They were like, do you know the service, the traditional service, off by heart? Or as now I've got a teleprompt, it's all on there, and I read it out. I'm not so good to know the traditional service. I'm going to just press the button here to stop recording on the other. This it's nice using this old camera because it follows you around. So you can see I've got a lovely view out here. My church, the sun's shining too much, is just behind me. I purposely placed my desk so I can see the church. So every time I come down to work, the church is there, and watch that over. So just going to go around. I'm going to go out now, and I'm going to show you literally how close I am to the church, and how frustrating it is in a way. So let's go outside. So now I've also changed camera
program. I haven't used this for a while. It was awfully bright on the other camera inside the office, so I'm out in my garden now. The house is behind me. What's nice about this old setup is that this follows wherever I go. So this is the front garden. I've got this part and I've left that part over to nature because put an application for a room to go over there to help support the work of the church, and we're still waiting to hear back off that. But I think it's important for nature to have somewhere, so I've left that bit over there for nature to take its course, but left other parts so it looks a bit decent. It doesn't overgrow. So these are the steps up to the church, and I'll show you how close my church is for me. So this is my house behind me and the church there over there. So just looking here, there's a bin there. That's where the door is, that's where the entrance is, the back door that I go over into the church. And we're not allowed into the church, and the church is here, so close. And we're not allowed to go in to pray because we've been told by the Church of England, as guidance, not instruction, they say, as guidance, not instruction. I'd like to see, if I went over there and I did a recording, how much of that guidance would have been used for my displeasure, I would say. So we can't go over there to pray. We're told to pray at home. We try to be example, and I get that. We're Christians and we want to save lives, protect the NHS. Stay at home, save lives, protect the NHS is our slogan here in the UK, and that's right. But it is a bit confusing about how much you can do. This parish that I'm in has got 11,500 people. There's 3 major distinct areas and 5 if you count a couple of smaller ones. There's a lot of need there, and you know, how much can you go out and what can you do? And if you're told to stay at home to be the example, people don't know where the church is, and the church being closed is, me personally, I think it's awful. I think this is not the time that we come together to worship. That isn't right. You know, we really need to protect people, and in the Church of England generally the average age of the congregation is higher, so it's not recommended that they would go to church anyway. But this is the time that this building should be open for those seeking sanctuary, solace, those who are scared and anxious. Whenever you go to these times of crisis, the church building becomes that place where people come to just to sit and to question, and a lot of people questioning. We've seen that national newspaper the other day talked about how many people are praying, like 50, 60 or even 70% of people are now kind of praying. And so to close the church, I think it's a bad decision, and it's really limited people, it's really limited me to what I'm doing. As I'm going to conversation with my wife yesterday about, did we get it right, could we have done more, what can we do when the restrictions get lifted. So it's incredibly frustrating that you're called to be on the front line and you feel very limited to what you can do because you've been told to stay at home. But at home we must stay, and that's what we've done, even on this VE day where we would have been at the heart of celebrations. So what's my day look like as I'm here? I'm just hearing my wife and my kids in the kitchen. Wake up, usually listen to the radio, see what's going on, have music, relax, and then we have our school day inside with my daughter. She's 5 in a couple of weeks, and so she's gonna have a birthday in lockdown. My son, who's 12, and they're getting on with their work. They're doing well. My son's doing better actually than my daughter, because my daughter's only 4, and this is, you know, daughters need play and friends and things like that, and that's one thing they're not getting. So we're doing as best we can with the homeschool, and I think a lot of people out there are trying to do that, and getting it right or wrong we don't know until we all go back to school. But we've been out in the garden a lot because the sun's been out, and that's been really great, and it has been amazing spending so much time with the kids in the daytime and going for walks with them and like really engaging with them, because you wouldn't see them that much. So that's been absolutely lovely. But we have spent, I don't know, 6 weeks here now. I lost how much time we have. Anyway, so let's go to the garden, and I'll just show you the garden because that's where we've been. So I'm about to remember to look into the camera. I think I keep looking at myself. Started to build a greenhouse because we started to grow vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. So the greenhouse is being built over there, still in the process of building it, in between doing everything, and getting the garden looking pretty. Because we just moved in like 6 months ago, we are letting things grow to see what is coming. There's a lot of weeds and plants, and we're trying to see, well, we were told as well, see what's coming, and then do your garden after. So that's what we're doing. If you watched before, we had a big oak tree and we had some big winds, and it fell just as I was doing a service. It fell, so we got a lot of wood, and we used some of the wood over here to make beds for plants and things like that. So we're growing some vegetables and some fruit, and we're having battles with a couple of squirrels. It was like when we first saw the squirrels, we were like, oh, squirrels, that's really nice, look at the squirrels. Now we're like, get off our stuff, because they are continually coming down and breaking the plants and digging things up. And so continue doing that, which is always fun and new, and something I think a lot of people are doing. Actually, a lot of people getting out into their gardens, doing a lot of new stuff. Slowly trying to get the wood down, building things over there to show you. So just over there, that's a dining room, which has become a the main study place for our kids to their classroom, basically, and our church is behind us up there. Their classroom, where we are there every day. And I mean, they're doing really well, seeing as they're not in school, because it's really a big transition for them to really concentrate and focus on getting their schoolwork done. Especially my son, he's at secondary school, so there's a lot more pressure, and he's not getting the education, not getting the teaching. And I mean, I really feel sorry for those parents that got to work so hard, because I mean, I'm working a lot, and I don't get to go out on all the walks and things, because it gives me an opportunity to catch up, or to record, or to, you know, just get things done. And even stuff that I'm doing is slipping behind, so I can't imagine how some people out there are doing. But it's a challenge, and you start to appreciate what people do. Over here behind us, what's really nice is just up there somewhere there's a gate, and a lot of people taking walks, and it's really nice to see how many people getting out and taking walks and really enjoying this time under lockdown. And I think lockdown's going to ease next Monday. Prime Minister Boris Johnson's going to say something on Sunday night, so we're going to see what life looks like. One thing, so the other thing is that I've been doing, actually, so they're joking in the UK about people putting a lot of weight on, and I think a lot of people are eating and staying at home, and so the one thing that I'm trying to do is exercise and get things done. So I'm going to take you upstairs to see a room that I transformed, a walk-in attic, where I do exercise. We do exercise in the morning down in the living room, but the house unfortunately is in my domain, and unfortunately you can't see that, because we want to keep stuff private, obviously. So we're in our spare room, our games room, where we're just going to hang out and chill. We got my son got his games things in here, and we got TV. So we are in the attic. So we're really lucky. We got this walk-in attic, and it was full of our boxes from moving. And I came and cleared it out, and we got our football table. We had this football table. It's one of these things that you have different games. And we got our football table here, which is great. And then I put my little home gym in here, so I can do my exercise and I can do my weights. And I've been running a lot, but then I've hurt my legs, so now I can't run as much. But I'm doing cardio in the morning, and I'm trying to keep fit, because we're really lucky, because we have got a big garden and things like that. But you're just kind of really aware that you're only allowed out once, and that was my run. I think they relaxed it a bit more, so now I could go run on a walk. But you need to keep fit, and you need to keep moving, and so actually the exercises have been I tell you what, if I didn't do the exercise, it would just drive me crazy. It would just you kind of need that release, kind of being under lockdown and not being able to do as much as you want. So it's great to, I'll tell you what though, you couldn't walk in there before because we were still moving. We've got all the boxes that we don't know what to do with stuff and stuff that we have to sort out. So we still got that, they're just pushed aside. So that's a job still to be done. And mainly it's stuff to go to charity and things like that, toys from when the kids were younger. So it was really important for me to get the exercise done and to keep my mind fresh and something to concentrate on. So that's it in here. Like I said, this domain is private. So now I just come to this little wooded area just away from the house that's in the back of the garden again. Let it grow for the wildlife, but it's my daughter's favourite tree. She continually climbs that and she's getting really good as well, going up really high. It's a life under lockdown as a vicar. I think a lot of vicars out there, they have to take it in the context that they're in, and whether they can get out and do stuff and whether that's the right thing to do, and it depends on your congregation, and it's been like for me coming here and being here since December, and now it's May, so it's 6 months, and trying to start a church and trying to grow a church has been incredibly frustrating. That we can do more, and I'm not talking about worship services, but use the church building in a way that was going to be beneficial for the community in a time of need. We still got that opportunity because this is not going to go away anytime soon, and let's think about what church is. I don't know, nobody knows when church is going to go back and what it's going to look like in the future. We have to be aware of our congregation and make sure that they're safe. So what attendance will be like, and what it looks like, we have no idea. So that is a challenge. Luckily I started this YouTube a few years ago, so I brought that expertise, and we've been able to continue our worship services online, and that's reached more people as well, and been a blessing to other people outside the church as well as a blessing to people that are in the church, and it's helped that they felt connected as well, and which has been a really good thing. But this is an extraordinary time, very limited in what we can do. Very excited to be able to hopefully hear some good news on Sunday, to get out and do more stuff and to really see what the need is out there. I know our local communities are really coming together and helping each other in a way which is brilliant. But as you can see from this video, my life has been pretty much online, and then dealing with other stuff as best you can, but it's not been the practical help that you can give as a Christian, which is a real shame, where you need it. And I think personally that we'll pay a price for that. When the church was needed, we weren't there, and we got a lot to make up. That's national, not local, by the way. We are limited by what we can do. We are following, well, the thing is, it wasn't the government guidelines to shut the churches or to us, or to limit what we could do. That was the bishop. So we need to see where we go from there, and what the future looks like. But my life under lockdown has been a frustration in one way, but it's also been a blessing. Let's get out the sun. A blessing in others. So for us to come and just be a family, and I think we really needed this time. It's been amazing to be able to still contact with our church family through services. So they haven't not had a service every Sunday, and especially over Easter, and doing lots of videos over Easter week, even though it's a lot of work. It was really important to make sure that they could celebrate Easter, so that's been a real blessing. But the real frustrations have been not being able to really do what you're called to do, and feeling quite limited in that, and that's been really frustrating. I keep saying it's like my right arm has been cut off. So we'll see what we're going to do in the future and see how that's going to work, and what's going to happen with that. But now I'm going to leave you. It's been fun. It's been fun coming back on. It's been more than a monologue. I can't really show you anything much that we've done, because it's just been like the same every day, teaching, do some stuff in the garden, building some stuff, but that's what it's been like. And I wish, you know, really wish that this video was about like we've been getting out and doing this things like, but you find that balance between being obedient and trying to protect lives and doing the right thing, I suppose. But you got bad decisions made on my part, but we'll see. So let's meet again, as they say, especially on V Day. We'll meet again and show you what's going on in the future in our parish. It's a shame because a lot of the stuff that we were planning to do has been postponed, and hopefully the weather's good and hopefully we can still do that in the future. Some really exciting stuff with the community and the stuff that the church does. The church does teddies from the tower, where they drop teddies from the tower up there. Let's see if I can move this, moving it the wrong way. From the tower up there, drop teddies by parachutes. They do fates and stuff like that, so it's a real shame that we haven't got to see that. Hopefully we can do that in the future. So stay safe, and I will see you soon for an update on what my life is like as a vicar in this new world that we are entering into.